A deadly derecho recently swept across eastern South Dakota. The storm left thousands of electric cooperative members without power. In these types of events, we don't often think that those folks who are responsible for restoring electricity may be having challenges of their own. I spoke to two electric cooperative employees to get their perspective.
We knew a storm was coming in and we didn't know how bad it was going to be, but linemen always have that joke of, well, we're going to be working tonight. So we kind of went home with that idea in mind, and I didn't think anything of it. Was going to eat some steaks with a buddy. Well, I ran to the gas station and boom, tornado alert. I was like, all right, it's not that bad. I've been out in worse. Well, I get my snack and I'm heading to my friend's house, and now it says tornado on the ground, and I look in my mirror and this big dust cloud's following me. Some stuff started flying in front of me, so I dodged it with my car, and I was actually making my way to my friend's house, and I couldn't even get there because trees were just falling down as I was driving. So I said, you know what? I don't want to get in interior town. I want to get away from trees because I don't want one to fall on me. I skirted to the other side of town and I drove around, and it was just black. I mean, you couldn't see nothing. It was bad. I went to the city armory, parked behind there, and there was one other guy, and we were just watching stuff fly over the roof. It was pretty crazy. It was shaking my car, and I had walls blocking me from the wind. I knew as a lineman, okay, I'm gonna get called out to work. There's a lot of damage in town. I'm gonna go see what I can do for my neighborhood. So I pulled out of hiding a little early. I found a road somehow to my house that didn't have a tree. And I get to my neighborhood, and it was a little different than all the others because every other neighborhood just had trees over cars and trees on houses. Well, my neighborhood had that, and it had houses in pieces on the streets. And my house was actually in between two houses that their garages just got completely obliterated. They had smashed windows. And, you know, my first thought is, well, I got to go see if these people are okay. So I went and checked on them, made sure I was being a good neighbor, and then I focused on my house last. I looked, the guy right behind me, his garage was completely gone. I mean, cars buried. And I looked over to my house, which was directly in his backyard, and his garage was stuck into my south wall of my house. Like the 2x4s were basically like arrows sticking through my siding. I had holes in my roof. The water started leaking in. So I immediately knew, okay, I need to probably go over there, start figuring my stuff out because I'm gonna have to go to work. I kind of went over there. I started picking up debris out of my side of the street and talked to neighbors, made sure they were okay as I was doing it, helped them out a little bit. My house was leaking, so I moved my personal items kind of away from where it was leaking in the house, and I just did the best I can to button down my house before I came into work, and called my brother and told him to buy some tarps and come home and try and get it ready for a possible rain last night. But him and my family came from Madison, and they patched up my house while I was out getting people's power back on. So there's nothing like it. You know, you go to school and a lot of people dream of storm jobs and stuff, and I consider myself one of those people. I react well to these types of situations, but when you come out here and you work with guys who've been doing this for years and they have all this experience from all these storms, I mean, I'm here trying to soak it in and learn from them so I can be the best I can be for future members. So I'm just happy to work in South Dakota and Southeastern Electric. Great co-op, great community, great people around here, and the cooperative spirit, I mean, it's alive. And South Dakota, I think we show that pretty well. So.
I've been at Southeastern Electric for a little over 33 years, and haven't seen anything quite like what we've seen here in the just yesterday. I've seen a ton of tornado damage in the years and a lot of flooding, but this was such a wide angle. I mean, there was such a long string of wind and everything that it was just it was very daunting as far as the task wise. The thing is, right away we thought we were going to need quite a bit of help from other co-ops, but then they end up having to have their own issues. So we just are just doing it on our own, which we can. But what's nice about it is if we needed help, we can always get help from other co-ops. It's a brotherhood of cooperation, and we never worry about not being able to get the job done. I probably had 60 calls from our members, and I'm sure the rest of the line crew and everyone else did too, and their manager, and goes on and on. But I think that's what they like the best, is that they can get a hold of us no matter what. I think that's what makes it feel like they're part of something. They're part of something greater than just a utility, because they can reach out to any one of us and say, hey Brett, I'm stuck in these power lines and I don't know what to do. So, and that happened last night. So told them just to stay in, because we weren't sure if the lines were hot or not, and wait for one of our linemen to get there. And they were pretty shaken up, but everything turned out okay, and the lines were actually de-energized, but you just never know. You always want to make sure that you just want to. Everybody asked me if the lines are dead or whatever. I'm just just act like they're energized. I said, don't ever take it for granted that they're dead. So we know that if we need help, we can call any one of our neighboring cooperatives or any neighbor. I mean, we're talking even across state lines. It doesn't matter. If we need the help, they'll come. And it's both ways. If they call us, we get a crew together and we send them out. So it's like having an extra 50 guys or more linemen that you can always trust. You know that they're going to come when you call them. And the linemen just love it. They love that cooperative spirit. They love that working together and getting something done. And it doesn't matter what co-op you're at. It's just it's something special, something hard to explain sometimes, but it's definitely a blessing. So.